I want to start there. The relaxation of restrictions on sales to and from Huawei. Will it become a reality? Are we getting closer from your mind's eye?
Well, thank you for having me on, Carolyn and Scarlett. Yes, we believe that there is a way forward. We're hoping that with further engagement with the U.S. government that we'll be able to find a solution to the current situation. These restrictions, we don't believe we should be on the restricted list to begin with, but obviously we're willing to work with the government to understand what's sufficient and necessary for us to move forward.
Do you see U.S. customers shying away despite a general license restrictions on sales within the U.S.? Give us a sense of what you're seeing on the ground.
We have seen a little bit of adjustment in our revenue forecast related to some adjustment in stability of our customer base, but overall we're seeing a continued improvement of the business. We saw in the first half a 23% year-on-year growth. As well as continuing phenomenal smartphone sales, 130 million units shipped in the first half of the year.
When you're liaising with the US government, with involved parties, what are you trying to say that actually the US consumer, the US business is losing by not being able to do business with Huawei? I mean, we know you offer a cheaper price point, particularly for regional services, but what are they losing?
I think if we look at the global smartphone market and you talk to some of our customers, very loyal customers over many years, you'll find that the products that we're offering are superior products with high quality and all the features and functionality of all the other flagship phones at a significantly competitive price. And I think that's something that consumers are missing out here in the U.S., both in the smartphone area as well as other products and technologies that we sell and support.
So if you could be a little more specific on that, because one big issue we have in the U.S., of course, is the lack of broadband access for people in rural parts of the country, partly because companies don't want to pay for it. Why is it advantageous for rural communities in particular to use Huawei gear? What's the sales pitch there?
Well, I mean, there's a few reasons. Frankly, there's over 24 million consumers in the areas that Huawei covers. We provide technology and capabilities for these operators in these regions because of our experience, many years of experience in rural China, building out the rural Chinese technology or the communications networks. So as we go forward, we're able to provide that expertise both in the product solutions that we offer that are scalable, both to high levels to large customers, but also to the small customers, along with our services and support that we customize based on the needs of the customers. The rural customers have a small customer base themselves and are limited in their funding and capabilities and resources. So we help fill that gap.
And a headline that just crossed a couple minutes ago, Caroline, is that U.S. prosecutors are investigating Huawei on new allegations of technology theft. This is according to people familiar with the matter, so potentially expanding their probe beyond existing criminal cases against Huawei.
This, of course, wrapped into the issue of stealing intellectual property, which is the main accusation. And I want to ask you, therefore, Mr. Danks, the new additional instances of alleged technology theft, is this something that's new to you? You're hearing it. How are you responding to prosecutors, and are you in day-to-day touch with prosecutors and the US government?
Well, I mean, I can't really comment on ongoing litigation, and I believe that information is related to those investigations. What I can say is Huawei is a leader in IP. We have over 90,000 patents globally. We have 20% of the global 5G essential patents, and we're a proponent of fair and equal licensing and so on. We license over $6 billion worth of IP from other companies, and we also sublicense our IP out to other countries and other companies at about $1.4 billion annually. So, we're concerned about IP theft as much as anyone because we do hold a significant number of patents, and we'd like to, see those issues addressed. But we are a proponent of, due process and handling of IP in appropriate manners.
Tim, final question to you. We've seen many of your U.S. suppliers, whether it's Micron or Intel, finding loopholes, ways to get around the ban on selling to you. What sorts of negotiations are you having with these U.S. suppliers?
Well, primarily our ongoing communication with our U.S. suppliers is just that. It's our continued partnership with these suppliers. I think the concern that we have going forward is related to the impact this is going to have on the U.S. economy. We're talking about $11 billion annually spent by Huawei on goods and services in the U.S. with U.S. companies. That's a significant amount of dollars in the U.S. economy, but it also translates into a large number of jobs. If you look at economic indicators, that's equating to somewhere between 40 and 50,000 jobs that would be affected. And these are not just typical manufacturing. These are highly paid, highly skilled jobs in the American economy. That at a time when there's some question about where the stability of the American economy.